Hello and welcome to my review of Batman Begins. Ooh, first non-Marvel movie review. Very interesting. Unless you count that one time I live streamed about King Kong movies that don't even exist anymore. But whatever. Let's get into it.
Yeah, this is how it started way back in the day when the people were talking.
Hello and welcome back here. So this movie, well, I mean, it's just great, isn't it? Well, right there it says Ebert and Roper. Right there, one best films, 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs way up. Did they say that because they thought, well, I mean, possibly this was made by Roper, and people don't really like Roper as much as they like Ebert, so let's just say it was Ebert and Roper. You could have just said at the movies, it would have probably been better. Or whatever they call the show now. I think it's at the movies. Calls it Siskel and Ebert. Oh, or Ebert. But now, Siskel and Ebert aren't even alive. Rest in peace again. But it's not their show, so yeah. I got this movie along with The Dark Knight Rises because I'm a purist. I went first movie, last movie. Skipped the second one, but I bought it. But I bought it eventually because it was the best one, right? And I've watched all 3 of them, and that was like maybe a couple months ago, like 5, probably like half a year ago, and I just thought, well, let's watch all of them again. Why not? Right? Why not? And I'm going to be reviewing them. All 3 of them. All 3 of them back to back to back. Now, the first one, Batman Begins, is amazing. Now, I want to talk and say that this is overshadowed by its predecessor, The Dark Knight, because that one is like the best superhero movie ever made. But this is good. This is really good. This is one of my... I don't know. I can't decide whether The Dark Knight or this one is better. I can't tell. But they're some of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know. I guess I have different standards for what I put up there. Now, I'd say that this movie is genuinely one of the most perfect movies I've ever seen. But there are flaws, so let's go over them. I think it's Christian Bale plays Batman. He does an amazing job as Batman, but he's a little too young for Bruce Wayne. I don't know. I just always see Michael Keaton when I watch Batman. Like, I actually have the Batman movie here. Here on VHS because I'm old like that. Now, I'm not reviewing this one, but I just wanted to tell you that Michael Keaton's performance in this movie is genuinely amazing. Is genuinely amazing. And I just don't think that this really lives up to it. But it's better than George Clooney and Ben Affleck, so I'll give it a pass. He is still really good, though, so, it's okay. It's okay, because he's better. Most Batman suck, so, I mean, yeah. He's really good, though. I mean, I'd say that is not at all, like, a bad thing about him. He plays the character great. He just doesn't really look the part, in my opinion. And he's way better in other Batman movies. And his voice is, like, the best. This is, like, the best movie with his voice in it, I'm gonna say. This is probably the best movie with his voice in it. Christopher Nolan does an honestly unbelievably good job doing this. This is one of his best movies. I know a lot of people like Inception, but I have not seen that movie yet, so he's a great director. I would say he's one of my favorites, but I haven't seen enough of his movies to consider it that. It's just because these trilogies so good that I can't, that I like him so much. But he's not my favorite. Tim Burton will always be my favorite director because I've seen like all of his movies. Anyway, the guy, Batman, here. Now, the villains, the main thing that keeps it, that makes it stand out. Now, the villains in this movie are Ra's al Ghul, or Raz Al Ghul, or I don't know, I think it's Ra's al Ghul, but whatever. Rab a Mool. Lab a Pool. Okay. But what? Whatever. Who cares? So, the idea, well, a little far-fetched, thinking, okay, they are just going to be like, oh, okay, well, let's just make sure to balance the scales. Now, that's dumb, but he is actually a terrorist, so I'm going to give him a pass on that one, right? Because it makes sense. It makes sense, and it is kind of, like, I could see actual people believing that. So I'll say that on the making sense scale, not really that high, but still, it is believable. Now, the Scarecrow, he's one of my favorite Batman villains. One of my favorites. I mean, the Joker is probably my favorite just because, like, I don't even know. He's such an amazing, deep character that I could look into him for hours, and he's one of the best. But Scarecrow's probably up there, because he's also really interesting. Also very interesting. So, I don't know. And I do think that they did him justice. A lot of, my dad at least, complains that the guy that plays the Scarecrow is a little young. He looks young. And, yeah, I used to think that. But then, now watching it again, first of all, I look exactly like him. Second, I actually could, like, he looks the part. I think he looks just like the Scarecrow. So, yeah. But let's see. I find it very interesting that the Scarecrow's kind of set up as sort of the villain. I don't know. I think they set him up. Well, I guess they kind of have Ra's al Ghul, but I thought he would just come back. Like, I thought that they were thinking that people thought that he would come back in a later movie to, kill Batman. He would be the villain in that one. He does kind of, sorta, in The Dark Knight Rises, where Bane, who was a former member of the League of Shadows, comes back to be the villain, but I'm not reviewing that movie, so push it. I don't care. This is great. Now, Rachel, now, I don't really like her in this movie. I don't like her. I think she's kind of a one-dimensional love interest, but I do think that actually, let me rephrase that. I think that she's not a one-dimensional love interest, especially not in this Dark Knight. She's way better in that movie. But in this movie, she's just kind of one-dimensional. She's not played very well, but I think that her character itself is a very big dimension. It's just like very like dimensional. Like we could explore a lot of what she was doing, because what she's doing is like really interesting. She's not just the damsel in distress or whatever. In fact, I don't think she gets in distress in this movie. Oh yeah, he does when the Scarecrow beer toxin the same. But I mean, that happened to Batman, so you know, I'll give her a pass. The reason I think she fails in this movie is because they don't really explore any of that, and also she's played really terribly. But to be honest, I would have rather had her come back and just be written better in the next movie, because I honestly didn't know that Rachel was in the next movie until somebody told me that they were the same character, because they are like so different. I just didn't even get a connection. I thought there were just two characters named Rachel in maybe that says more about me than it does about the writing, because maybe I'm just dumb or whatever. But I say this is an really underrated movie. I think you should watch it, and you will like it. It is great. It's really good. I think it's a really good movie. Now, is there anything else to talk about? Plot holes of any type? Yeah, there is a plot hole of some type. You know, when the water supply, it's always annoyed me, but they put that fear toxin, like they were doing that for months. They put fear toxin in the water supply, in Gotham's water supply. How are they not feeling the effects? I know you need to inhale it. That was like the point. But like, I don't know about you. Like usually, I think that macaroni and cheese is a pretty popular meal. And to prepare that meal, you need to boil water. Also, I think that anything using potatoes, I believe, those are also pretty popular things that, you know, and you need to boil it to pretty much all. Have you ever been to a restaurant? They boil water a lot in restaurants. Like, people cook, about half the meals in the world require you to boil water. That's not at all a realistic statistic. I just want to tell you that before you nitpick. I have no idea what percentage of dishes require you to boil water, but I just feel like even though most people don't inhale the steam, I think that it would happen to at least like 1,000 people by now. 'Cause, I mean, boiling water is popular, and inhaling water is also quite important. Maybe you just need to inhale like a ton of it. It doesn't seem like you need to inhale it when he was doing that flour, but maybe they made it less concentrated. That's possible, because they didn't want them to catch on to the plant. So if you just inhale a little bit, it doesn't really do that much. If there's like a lot, like if you boil all the water and it's like everything's steam and you can't really, then you are swallowing quite a bit or inhaling quite a bit of that water. And you go, oh, I'm scared of literally everything. Scarecrow had a field day, let me tell you that much. But, what else to say? What to say about the casting? Let's talk about the casting. I already kind of talked about it, but what's his name? The guy, what's the guy's name? Liam Neeson. That's what his name is. Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul. Maybe it's Ra's al Ghul. I don't know. Ra's al Ghul. I thought it was Ra's al Ghul, and it's Ra's al Stool. Maybe it's Raja Mule or something. I don't know. But he does an amazing job. I mean, I kind of see whenever Liam Neeson's in something, even if I don't recognize it's Liam Neeson, you always know it's somebody that you know, because Liam Neeson's so popular, right? He's always been an A-list actor. Everyone knows about him. Mostly from the Taken series, and he was in the Star Wars prequels and these movies. He's been in a lot of famous stuff. But he does an amazing job. So even though it did pull me out of the movie the first time I watched it, now when I expected it, it was really interesting. The guy that plays Commissioner Gordon, I don't know what his name is. I could look it up, but I don't remember it, so yeah. But he does also an amazing job, and just Commissioner Gordon and Alfred do a great job. I kind of put them together because they kind of are a little bit, just a tiny bit same, so not the exact same character. They're completely different characters. It's just they're both old white men, so yeah. But they both do an astonishingly good job, and way better than that idiot in the Justice League movie and Batman vs. Superman, that Alfred. And I'm gonna rate it. How would I rate it? Actually, let's before the rating, let's talk about, like, do I have anyone else to talk about? I think I got everybody. If I missed somebody, I probably did. Please let me know, because I probably missed somebody, but I just don't remember them. But I'll address it in the next movie, probably. Now, I want to figure out, what should I rate this? I feel that there's no more fitting way to rate this in Siskel and Ebert's famous way. This is a thumbs up for me. It's a thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. It says 2 thumbs way up sign. 2 thumbs. 2 thumbs up. It's a great film. Go watch it.